Come on, you fucking parasites. The death is waiting. You've got a lesson to learn.
Hey, what's up YouTube? This is part 2 of 7 for Hatred walkthrough on Extreme. My name is Sam, and we're gonna start here in the sewer level fighting a couple of SWAT guys. They're gonna come around the corner pretty fast. Remember, just aim at the corner, ambush them. They're pretty simple to take care of as long as you have the drop on them. Remember that in the entire realm of the sewer, you're going to be fighting mainly SWAT guys. These guys take about 8 to 10 shots to take down depending on what gun you're using. One thing to remember is that if you're taking on a lot of fire from these SWAT guys, they have SMGs. Remember to collect the ammo, but if you're having some trouble, there's a lot of homeless people. Do some ethnic cleansing, kill them. It gives you good health, so you can be a little reckless like I am. Just walk forward, take them out, but for the most part, you want to keep firefighting from a long range. So here's a quick point I want to make. Here you can see I use the O button to see any enemies that are around, and you notice that the people get highlighted. They're all on the ground, they're all homeless people. Remember, this is where you can gain health. Okay, so here you notice that I look at the minimap and I notice that there's a dot on the screen, and that's why I stopped moving. And I noticed that, hey, there's some guys that are gonna come around here. Rather than just running in Rambo style, I sit back. I let them come down to me. I know there's a ladder they're coming down, and if you make it to that ladder quick enough, you can kill them. But for the most part, sit back and allow them to come to you. On this part, here's a bit of bad AI. As you can see, I made it to the ladder quick enough to catch these SWAT guys coming down, and I'm literally just holding down the trigger and killing them as they fall down. So here we are at the first objective called cleansing the pier. What you want to do is you want to go across the whole pier and literally kill everybody that's on it. It's pretty simple. Most of the walkways are straightforward, so you can pick people off from a long distance. Some cops are on the pier, there's some armed civilians, but there's no heavy firepower here, and it's actually a cakewalk. So here we are at the second objective called exterminate the hotel guest. This one takes me a bit to do. It takes me almost a solid 2+ minutes to actually get done. That's because there's a lot of hotel guests, and then the cops come in, they bring in some firepower, and with that being said, all I do is I crouch around, avoid being hit because crouching makes you fucking OP, and search and destroy. Because you have to get most of the guests in here, and I'm talking, there are people in some locations where you would not even look. I think at the end of this is a guy in fire that I had to kill to end the quest, but for the most part sometimes the guys are upstairs. This one, I would say, just try to do as fast as possible. Don't stop. Rambo it the whole way through. Here we are on the second to last primary objective, I believe, and I get my ass kicked here. I finished slaughtering the Marina resident, and I'm outside, and I know it's to survive the raid, and I'm trying to be ballsy. This is a perfect example of what not to do. I'm outside, I have no cover, and these cops are just swarming in. So I'm tossing Molotovs in a panic, I'm tossing whatever I have in a panic, and then I try to run away, and then I'm like, okay, I need to put down some fire against these guys, and guess what? It doesn't work. SWAT comes in too quick. Even when you're crouched, sometimes their firepower is still too much. And because I can't execute anybody, I end up dying. This is, so again, perfect example of what happens when you're not around civilians and when you're being pushed back into a corner because you're out in the open. Something you do not want to be doing. Period. So before I finish this level, here we are at the third and last side objective that you can do, side quest that you can do, and it's called Hunt Down the Hunters. Just be careful, they have shotguns, they're hunters, I'm guessing they're hunting bucks, hence the picture on the minimap, but they have weapons, they're not afraid to use them against you. Take your time here. I try to be a little Rambo-ish, and I end up having to push back, take my time, and I barely make it out alive. So a perfect example of going up against a threat and being unprepared for it again, but still being able to manage the situation by taking my time, crouching, pushing back, and then being very, very careful of going to the next objective, trying not to run into anybody with any firepower.
Time to leave this place. I can smell some innocent blood. It always tastes better.